Grab my shit.
Okay, we should be good.
That. I swear. We gotta get the drip.
Yes.
Bam. Boom.
Yes.
Bam.
Okay, we
Let me find the document I need and to get the people. Bam.
Okay,
Let me find the document I need and to get the people. Bam.
Okay,
Let me find the document I need and to. Okay, so as stated previously, also if you haven't already, the Arsenal Center console to grab what you need. If you've not been to one of these war rooms, like I said, this is essentially a pre-operation briefing and strategy session to make sure we're doing things right. Included in this, you're allowed to run 2 side operations, which are detachment-focused operations that will help affect your main operation at the end of the week. These happen Monday through Friday. If you wish, you don't have to do all of them, but if you want to do them or set them up, let me know. Let the detachment who is going to be running them know, and we'll try to work schedule for each other.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Sorry about that.
You're good. I'm just explaining the war room itself a little bit, but essentially, if there is any questions at that point, kind of save it to the end of whatever spiel I have, because this is going to be a bit of a long one. Just because it's the first of a campaign, they're always a bit long because we have to explain the story, the plot, and the rules, kinda. Luckily, there isn't a whole lot being tested this time around. There's not really any fully new mechanics. If you've been to one of these in the past, you should pretty much know what's going on. The only thing I will say that is new is that there is now a fully NPC. For this one, there will be a fully NPC faction of clones in this, which are Republic aligned, so they'll be helping you through the campaign. You can't really give them too much orders. They'll just do what they are, but they will give a general idea of what they're doing to you, and you'll be able to see them move through the campaign. I'll explain a bit more on them later. But as of right now, is there any questions as to what the war room is and what you are doing here today?
Am I just deciding for my unit completely what we will be doing?
So overall, final decision is up to the platoon lead, which today will be Argyle, as he is helping keep an eye on things. But overall, you will be helping and essentially talking for 1-2 today, or whichever squad you're for today.
1-2.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cursed. You'd be for talking for 1-1 today, and then yeah, just making sure your squad will know what their goals are and what they need to do, because we are going to pretty much be planning the first main operation during this as a whole, and get an idea of what the rest of the campaign is going to look like.
Right.
Any other questions? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. All right. So then, in that case, we will get started for the actual war room. Get my document. Oh, cursed! Your TeamSpeak's not working. It was working earlier, wasn't it? Can you hear us? Oh, cursed.
Oh, cursed.
Yeah. You hear us, you just can't talk. That's weird. That's typically backwards. I don't know why he can't talk.
Test.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
There we go.
Okay. So we didn't really start. Did you have any questions before we began?
Yeah, the only question I had is there a third-party clone force represented by the independent color markings on the map?
No, so that'll be something separate. The independent clones will be blue, just like ours are.
Copy.
Okay. So, first things first, welcome to the planet that I have forgot the name of. Where is my fucking document? S3 drive. Yeah, like I said, I do apologize for being late. Unfortunately, today has been a very painful day, so I've been much more behind than I would like to be.
You're good.
Okay, here it is. Okay, welcome to the planet of Garki. For those of you who are unaware, this is a planet relatively close to Megiddo. So expect very similar architecture and patterns of weather due to its distance from its neighboring sun. It's not as inhospitable as Megiddo tends to be, but it is still a fairly cold planet. So keep that in mind as you guys progress through the campaign. Obviously, if you can't tell, the map itself is Panthera Winter. So if you guys need to look at the map at any point during the campaign outside of the game, that's the map it'll be. So during during the invasion of Megiddo, a group of the 21st was tasked to essentially capture an HVT or a couple of HVTs that were located on the planet. They are formerly Banking Clan members. They still sort of are, but they've been essentially exiled due to extreme deals with the CIS that has caused essentially a lot of leaks in GAR intelligence. So they've been feeding information to the CIS for price. And like I said, the Banking Clan has essentially officially removed them from their roles in the company. That being said, we are all very well aware that the Banking Clan is neutral and mostly CIS aligned, but we do still do dealings with them just because we do need the money. GAR as a whole needs the money. So with this, we expect them to probably still have ties and resources within the Banking Clan to fall back on, which has led them to here. During the invasion the 21st was doing on Megiddo, unfortunately, the HVTs did escape and left the planet. They fled to here on Garki, and Gambler Company, alongside our sister company, Black Company, which is the NPC faction I was mentioning earlier, are moving to engage the HVTs and try and capture them, bring them back to Republic trials. Now, we don't know a whole lot on this planet. We know it is Banking Clan aligned, but unfortunately we've had to rush to get to this planet to capture the HVTs so we don't miss the opportunity. So we know there's CIS presence on the planet, but we don't know exactly where. We obviously can see their ship movements, and we can see where some anti-ship weapons are going to be, as those have already begun firing on our descent onto the planet. But we haven't quite narrowed down where actual pockets of CIS forces are. So it is going to be important to find where they are and engage them over time. Additionally, if you see the green, those are known Banking Clan assets and sectors. So if you notice the Durasteel Mine, the Foundry, and the Banking Clan Planetary HQ, those are all Banking Clan assigned sections. So we shouldn't hit those. That will cause some relation issues if we do try to fuck with them too much. Obviously, if push comes to shove and we need to get to them, you would be free to do so, but contact command at that point, and we will figure it out. That being said, if you do have to engage them, limit damage to these structures. Additionally, there are the purple sectors, which those are civilian sectors. Again, a lot of Banking Clan aligned sectors in there. That being said, those are all just civilian positions and cities and things like that, so ports. So those aren't as high value as the all the construction sectors. I will note that if you look at the map, you see the big purple circle around the city. Oh, Jackal is having issues loading up. Hold on. See. I'm gonna have to set a new teleporter. Hold on.
If you reacted to that ping, I think I just fat-fingered Y.
You could always just put an
Oh.
MT4 in here and then teleport him onto the vehicle.
Yeah.
An MT4?
Yeah, a little go kart or something.
Oh yeah, those. Possibly. This kind of works too. That being said, I think Jackal might have had the correct thing.
There you go.
Oh, is he here? Yep, he's here.
Hello.
Perfect. That worked.
Apologize, I didn't know I needed to be here till like 30 seconds ago.
You're good. So we just needed someone from Bandit. Didn't care who, but that worked. Oop. Okay. I've just been mainly explaining lore stuff, so don't stress too much. That being said, the big thing to take away from what I've explained so far is that we don't know a whole lot of CIS presence in the area other than the ships and the anti-ship weapons. The rest is unmarked. Obviously, the purple sectors are civilian, and the green sectors are Banking Clan aligned facilities that we should not be planning to destroy. We might have to engage them at some point to capture our missing HVTs, but those are not to be fucked with if possible. Okay. So, that being said, we have 2 HVTs that we need to capture. This is your main guy's goal for the entirety of this campaign. If you don't capture these 2 guys alive, then you fail the campaign. Because, while obviously if you kill them within the first week or 2, then we're still going to do the other 2 weeks of the campaign. But if these 2 people die, then that is failure. Just general rule, this is your goal, this is the pass or fail of the campaign. Success is marked by if you get both of them alive. We don't need the full destruction of the CIS on the planet. We just need to get these 2 people out, and then we're good to go, pretty much. That's all we really need. We'll handle a full invasion of the planet at a later date, just because 2 companies is probably not enough to take this place alone. Obviously, the sector itself that we are in, possibly, more than likely, yes, but this isn't the only sector of the planet. So, with that being said, the only other things to mention is that since we don't know where these CIS forces are, one thing is that if you do decide to do any bandit side ops, kind of just like mark a sector and tell me like, hey, they're going to be moving to this, and then I'll set up objectives as best I can to accommodate that. As for the operations itself, obviously try and engage objectives as you can, but it'll be roughly the same idea as what I mentioned with the bandit, where essentially hit objectives where you can, but also mark where you are going to be attacking, and I will let you know. Obviously, we will have, if you weren't here at any of these in the past, we have Friday to essentially take all the information we've gained from the side operations and things like that, and bring that to adjust the plan any at all before the main operation. That being said, I am probably going to switch this. I might switch it to Thursday just because of the New Zeus rules, but we'll keep that in mind in the future. So I will get you IDs for the HVTs in the briefing document. I don't have them set up in the war room today, but in the future I will. But they are 2 members. One is call signed the oh, what did I name them? Hold on. Personal loadouts. Alright, first one has been classified. His name is the Augment. He's known for augmenting his body with various upgrades and non-biological enhancements to his body, including enough that it essentially made him not fully capable of breathing oxygen. So he has to wear kind of a bodysuit to make sure he stays alive and, you know, lives. The second one is has been classified as the Militant. He's more of a he helped fund like PMC forces that work for the banking clan. So he has a lot of deep ties with PMC groups, bounty hunters, things like that. Obviously, he has more military-looking garb. Like I said, I'll get you IDs for those guys and the briefing document after this. All right. So that is most of the information I have for you today. Obviously, it's not a whole lot to go off of, and this is a big map. So y'all are going to have to do some investigating of your own throughout the campaign. Obviously, you're still going to be engaging contacts throughout most of the operations. It's pretty easy to assume that most positions on the map have some form of CIS presence, whether it's just a garrison or an entire battle group. So keep that in mind whenever you press through areas. The sphere of influence of the civilian cities marked in purple, like the purple circles around the cities. So if you are going to attack or engage or investigate a city in one way or another, that is considered the area of the city. So keep that in mind as you pass through. But at that point, the first thing I need for you, or from you, Argyle, as is tradition, I need where you want to set up the Venator. Because you are free to set this where you please. You sound like shit, by the way.
Or do I? Like how shit?
That was a little better.
This good? This good?
Also, Copster, can you do cancel animation real quick?
It's better iron. This work for you?
Yep, that works.
Okay. Looking at all the positions of the ships and all that jazz, I'm thinking about pretty much trying to get us set up in the southwestern area, which will go into some further shenanigans I have planned. But with all the anti-ship weapons and the munificence and reticence, I think getting our Venator set up in this southwestern bit here, if not where it is right now, if not, I don't want to put it over the civilian area because that's probably going to scare them. But like honestly, where it is on the map right now works for me.
All right, so southwest side. Where exactly? Could you put a marker on map so I have somewhere to plant it?
Honestly, where it is right now on the map.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to put it
Can
right
I-
over the civilian sector because I don't want to scare them.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yep.
What about in the east at the Scylla port? At least close to there, at the like over the sea, so we don't really like right here.
My concern with that is the eastern side has a lot of CIS battleships there. That would be very probably quick to react. In the southwestern side, they're farther away
Oh,
and
those are
less
what those
present.
things are.
Yeah, because if we got on
I
that
thought-
eastern side there, there's 7 ships that would probably beat straight on us.
Yeah, yeah.
I will note that if need be, I will allow you to bring like 3 or 4 ships as like a fleet to help you secure a sector. Probably just acclimators and Arquitans, so any combination of those, but it's not going to have any major effect other than these guys will be acting as NPCs throughout the campaign. So essentially, you can give them orders and they'll try to do them, but that's roughly it. So any combination of 4, your call.
All right. You said Arquitans and Acclimators?
Yeah.
2 of each, why not?
Okay. 10. Good acclimator. Okay. And then, so we're still doing the south side, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just pepper them around your Venator if that's good for you.
Yeah, that works.
So they'll help defend it in case anything does try to push it.
Probably should have asked this before I placed the Venator. Do we know the range of the anti-ship weapons?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay.
We don't know the class of anti-ship weapons they are, unfortunately. We just know that they are anti-ship weapons.
Then I will pray that 2 kilometers is enough.
Gotcha. All right. So with that being said, the rest is pretty much up to you. We don't have a general. We don't know where exactly the HVTs are. We do believe they're hiding out in either the civilian sectors or in the banking clan alliance sectors. So keep that in mind. But they could move. But the rest is yours to strategize and plan.
All right.
If you have any questions, just feel free to ask.
All right. My first idea is to pretty much get, introduce ourselves and be nice. There's a lot of civilian sectors here, and we're neutral with the banking clan here, so we don't want to cause a big old ruckus. So my initial thought and plan is that first we send down a little fucking ARF scout team to the southwestern island where Mastrea is. They pretty much do their ARF stuff. They get a lay of the land. I don't need them being all too sneaky. I just kind of need to make sure that we're not causing a big old ruckus as we, get into this area. But, get a lay of the land, see how many garrisons are there, where they are, density of civilians, because this is probably where we might be operating. If not for this weekend, we'll probably be operating from this eventually, because this is a nice little island. So that'll be up to ARF to get a lay of the land of, and then we'll probably have that first platoon op pretty much be going through this island, securing it, and then setting up a maybe fob of some sorts to set off from. Anyone have any comments on that?
If I may.
You may.
The anti-ship weapons just north of the airfield, that might be a good place to set up a initial landing zone and fob on the main island. And we might want to take that anti-ship weapons and use it against that Providence and up there just to kind of clean ruckus a little bit and use it as our own anti-ship to help secure the area.
All right.
It depends kind of on the type of anti-ship, really.
Yeah. What I'm banking on is that these have a minimum range that they can fire, which will allow us to get close to them. But we will have to kind of fuck it, we ball with that. I do want to at least get some fortified presence on the southwestern island, and then we can move mainland. And I do plan that that airfield there will be our initial hit on that mainland. I just want to make sure that we can have a bit of a less aggressive immediate presence, just so we don't freak out the banking clan all too much, as well as make sure civilians are still liking us. Any other comments or anything?
What all was it you wanted bandit IDing down there?
Just kind of checking all the POIs, making sure if there's any CIS garrisons that they're marked out. Like Iron said, there will probably be CIS pretty much anywhere and everywhere, just in different varieties of pockets. So IDing all of those pockets, numbers, assets, all that stuff. Because we know so little about the area, that scouting is going to be very important, because otherwise we're sending in the entire platoon on Saturday completely blind without any idea of what we're doing. So I want to make sure that I'm not sending the platoon either into a death trap or into a 2-hour-long walking simulator.
I forgot to mention
Yep.
something as well. The duration of the campaign is 4 weeks long, so you do have 4 weeks to capture the HVTs before you have to bail out.
Okay.
That's the other fail condition, is if you don't capture those HVTs within 4 weeks.
All right. Then what I will do.
Also, because I forgot to mention this as well, keep your eye out for intel. We never know what we might find.
So that little black box there will probably be our sector of operations for the first week. Plan initially, depending on Bandit Recon, is we get a foot on that southwestern island, get a foothold set up, and then push across to the airfield, secure the anti-ship weapons, figure out what we can, if anything, do to them, with them, to help us. Because I don't expect that southwestern island, with how large that civilian sphere of influence is, to be all too heavily fortified. So we are going to have a big push on that airbase to secure it, because that is going to be an important thing, which will help us. And actually, yeah. So yeah, good idea, Cursed, with that one, because then we can have that just set up as a base there, and we don't have to fuck around with too much infrastructure because it's already an airbase. We have that as our stronghold for the mainland, and then we figure it out from there for the following weeks. Questions, comments, concerns on all that?
My only concern is the Providence over there to the north might come and try to retaliate against us.
Probably. It is a 1.5 kilometers or so from the anti-ship weapons. So that might happen, but if we can get to the anti-ship weapons fast enough, as Kirst said, might have been Thor, I can't remember, we can turn those weapons against them, hopefully. If not, then we do have the Arquintons and Acclimators that we could probably reroute to hold security over that airbase.
We get 2 recon things prior to, right?
You get 2 side ops. They can be of any detachment doing whatever. It's
We
just
might want to use our second one just to recon that initial planned area as well as that secondary area in case their anti-ship weapons are a lot longer ranging, and then maybe plan a smash and destroy op and get the hell out for that secondary one just in case their range is a problem for the one on the bottom right.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking too. Because that ship can glass us really. No, that anti-ship can glass us real easily.
Yeah.
Anything, we can use that as a distraction, have that the initial invasion, and then bail out as a distraction, get their forces moving that way, and then go to our main objective area, which is that airfield and anti-ship weapon.
Yeah.
Blackguard is always open to bomb shit with artillery.
Well, the issue with that is that we'd need to get on ground and set foot before we get artillery set up.
Yeah, I'm thinking after we secure the island, then we can set up a station with some artillery to use against the airbase or the continent area.
Yeah, that would be a good way to soften it up before we get there, because it is going to be hot regardless. As for the southeastern anti-ship weapons, I'm thinking crackhead plan. We send in a squad, middle of the night, smash and grab, secure that, shut it off, whatever. It would be sickle squad, dark, middle of the night, hitting that. It's basically make
Remember,
sure.
side ops need to be detachment focused.
Oh, they do now? Oh, fuck, you're right.
They have to be detachment focused.
Okay. Shit. Okay, scratch that plan then.
Could have Blackguard trying to take that. We could take that city. I can't read that. I can't see what this is. Well, we could try to get a presence in that city so that we could at least get a foothold in that bottom sector, and then we could slowly advance to the anti-ship. We, as you said before, we could distract them and then go for the airbase, like you said. And
Oh, ooh, actually. So we could take that bottom right quadrant instead. Move the recon into this archipelago here. Not archipelago, peninsula here. And then when they're in that peninsula, they can also get eyes on the anti-ship weapons, and then our operation could be getting a foot down, securing the areas up to that anti-ship weapons, and then securing any CIS presence that's in Rielen.
and then we can close the gap in between the two if we get the footholds in both of them.
Yeah.
But if we get only in one, it's a win-win either way.
Yeah, because we're not gonna be able to get both quadrants in a single week, but we could at least.
Of course.
Might be better to hit this on the first week and then go back hit this on the second week, because then we could. Cat, don't touch my monitor. We could have Bandit kind of scout out this area here. The port, anti-ship weapons, that city, and then that first week we push in, secure the anti-ship weapons, any CIS stuff, all that stuff. Avoiding the foundry, because again, we're neutral to the banking claim, we don't need to hit that.
Can't we have Tauntaun do high altitude scouting of the anti-ship weapons?
That I don't want to have Tauntaun doing the scouting just because we have Bandit.
No, I mean like just to get like not just anything else, just that, just to make sure that we're not gonna get glassed from where we are right now.
I mean, I'd still rather send Bandit because they're gonna be able to get the same job done as well as kind of get better eyes on the ground. If we're gonna send Tauntaun to do something, it might be to get a fighter group to the Reticent and Munificent, if that is an option that we can do.
Or that, or we could just send a fleet over there with one big ship and just take on those two guys, those two ships. If it's viable, at least, or if we can.
You can make that a whole like Tauntaun side up.
Okay, Tauntaun side up.
That would actually be really exciting.
We have Tauntaun with an acclimator. Move over to this southeastern area, and then take out that Reticent and Munificent. Bandit side up will be to scout out the peninsula there, along with the port and anti-ship weapon.
In our setup, do we also kill the anti-ship weaponry, or just let it fuck us up the whole time?
I'm going to imagine
anti-ship, not AA.
Yeah, it's not anti-air.
So it's not like a flak gun. It's a ship that's built to shoot on a Venator.
What's your acclimator gonna do then besides die?
With like a meter long
That is
shell.
very fair.
It's gonna destroy them.
Like I said, I'm like pretty sure there's gonna be minimum range on them things to not be able to fire. But you do make a good point. Our Venator is probably gonna be close enough, so we'll just send you guys in. Hit the Reticent Munificent with the Venator and the supporting ships as close as they are already. So yeah, we'll just send Tauntaun in there to those ships, Bandit scouts, and happy days by the time first platoon gets there.
That sounds good to me. I like it. Yeah.
From there, we could also try to take that airfield over here afterwards, of course, because when we have, I think those are they only have. So yeah, we both have 2 airfields to our advantage, so we could set up 2 mortar spots if we get those 2 airfields.
Yeah.
If we want to set up the mortars at the airfields. Or Blackguard.
Yeah. That will be something we can solidify once we get on ground. I just want to make sure that our entrance into the sector is clean and not all too convoluted. So this will be the initial plan here. We'll get Tauntaun to clear the skies of big shit. We'll have bandits scouted out, and then first platoon will go in, smash that anti-ship weapon, secure the area of CIS stuff, and then we'll have that set up to figure out the rest of the sector. I will emphasize that we are going to be in a lot of civilian areas, so don't kill the civilians, preferably, because that'll just make our job harder if we have to kill everyone to find these banking clan dudes.
Right.
So, to emphasize, final plan before I open it up to any more comments. Bandit goes in, scouts the peninsula. Tauntaun blows up the Recusant Munificent. Saturday, first platoon goes in, secures it all, with the main priority being to disable the anti-ship weapon. That all sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So, with that being said, don't forget with war rooms, you do have your NPC detachments, which you can give orders to. Anyone that hasn't been deployed to an op can do their own side op, but it'll be down to a die roll that I will update you on Friday or Thursday, whenever it is. So with Bandit doing one and Tauntaun doing the other, you have Blackguard, who can do something. And I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it for now.
I'm trying to think of something Blackguard could do before we actually get on ground.
Yeah.
Maybe artillery, the airbase, so that way Tauntaun has an easier time.
I mean, the thing is, like, we still need to set foot in and get that artillery set up because we can't fire it out of the Venator.
Yeah.
They can
Something we
deploy at
did.
the same time as what do you call it, Bandit.
That's gonna ruin a lot of the recon stealthy parts of Bandit doing that.
Something we did in the past for another FX or another side up thing was Blackguard manned anti-air on one of our ships. We could do that, but it's kind of up to Blackguard if they want to do that,
Well,
and if it's still possible.
Well, at that
Well,
point, it's
like-
gonna be an AI doing it.
Yeah, it was
So-
your op iron, I think, right?
It
Yeah.
was my op. It is an AA. They can do that if they want, but like I said, this is an NPC,
Oh.
so it isn't players. So this will just be either a boost to another side op or them doing their own side op that is down to a die roll.
I wouldn't be against having that Blackguard support for Tauntaun's side op. It would just kind of be a thing of, will they actually be close enough to support you over there? Because it is about 2 kilometers away.
Yeah, I'd be worried that they would take our kills, so never mind.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's not really much Blackguard can do until we get a foothold down on the ground.
Okay.
We'll give
That's fair.
Blackguard a rest for this week. Y'all will get something to do next week.
Let me get some other markers down because I need to see which ships you're engaging for the map. And then I'll mark this black. So that's not black. Okay. So, with that being said, just to ensure I have everything set up, Bandit will be taking a scouting mission to the green sector for week 1. The main operation, or Tauntaun, will be moving to destroy the Munificent Recusant as their side op for week 1. And the main operation will be the black sector for week 1. Which that will be a bit large, but we should be easily able to manipulate that. Be avoiding the foundry, so that'll save on objects a lot. Good work. And We need a time of day. What time of day are you invading the planet?
Well, we haven't had a night op in a while. Who wants to do that?
11:50 p.m. Yeah.
11:52 p.m.
Wait, is that too? We need more dark time. So should we push it back even further? When does it become night?
Yeah,
Is this IRL time or is this in-game time?
In-game
Because
time.
I'm not gonna with me. Okay, I was about to say.
I want to do it like the second the sun is gone.
I like that.
I want
Okay.
them to tuck
yeah.
themselves into bed, turn on the nightlight, and then all of a sudden everything's blowing up.
After sunset. Got it.
3 a.m. When you first have 3 a.m. taking out of CAS space. It's gonna rack up a lot of views.
So we're not doing any Blackguard side op. So if that is the case, then if you do you have anything else you want to add on? Any questions? Anything you need to ask?
It is going to clarify. It is going to be onto the detachment leaders to organize these side ops, correct?
100%.
Okay.
I'll find you a Zeus because I will probably not be the Zeus for the side op, but I do have volunteers who have already said they want to do these side ops. So I will have reach out to me when you're available, and I'll have a Zeus reach out to you.
And I think that is pretty much everything then. Yeah.
All right. I have a screenshot. If there's nothing else, then that officially concludes the war room. I hope y'all enjoy these things as they take a little bit of effort to do. And again, I apologize for being a bit late, but hopefully this is a good campaign and y'all enjoy yourselves.
I have good hopes, and I like drawing on a map, so I'm already having fun.
All right. All right. So that concludes it. Y'all are good to go. I'm going to end scenario. And I will get you all your Zeuses and give